few of which we're very enthusiastic about. My name's Hugo. This
And
is
my
Jan.
name's Jan.
And yeah, we're going to show you our solution. We're going to show you our terminal, and we hope you like it. And if you guys have questions, you can scan this QR code, and during the session, you can input questions. And yeah, let's take you guys through the solution. So first I want to tell you a little bit more about Mollie. So we're a partner of Odoo. We build payment solutions. We're from the Netherlands. We have offices in the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, France and the UK. We have about 25 payment methods that we offer, and from now on we can also offer offline payments. So the terminal that you see here. When you look at Mollie country-wise, so in Netherlands and Belgium we have about 52 to 55% market span. So that means that we do a lot of merchants in these countries. The Mollie Terminal, this is the product that we're here for right now. We integrated this device with Odoo, and that's what we're going to show you today. The Mollie Terminal is based on one API, so it's the same API that you use for online that you also use for offline. All the payments come into the same dashboard, get worked through in the same way. We pay out in one settlement, so no more different payouts for your offline and for your online businesses. And next to that, we also have no setup cost. So if you are now using a payment provider where you also require an IoT box, with our solution you don't require an IoT box. It all goes through APIs.
All right. So we are Droggle, an Odoo Silver partner, and we do special implementations like the Mollie APIs. You might know us from the Little Monkey, the plugin for the Chrome extension, which has more than 100,000 downloads. We also have the #1 theme for the Odoo website, and have co-authored 2 of the Odoo development cookbooks. But enough about ourselves. Let's dive into a problem that a lot of accountants struggle with. It's the time-consuming reconciliation. You might know the problem where you have a lot of POS transactions, web shop transactions, credit card transactions, and all of those come with their specialities like the credit card fees or the refunded charges that you need to add again, or transaction fees you need to dedump. And all comes in one lump sum payment. So you have one balance, and then it's up to the accountant to sort everything out. So we thought we need to simplify this. So with the integration of Mollie, we get to a better user experience because there's no more lump sum. It's a seamless Odoo integration, and you just process everything faster. It's an automatic reconciliation in a real-time sync, and you get an improved visibility because you have a breakdown of every transaction in Odoo.
That sounds all really cool, but can you show me how that works?
All right, it's pretty simple. So first off, you go to Mollie and you buy your terminal, of course. Once they ship it over, what you can do is, all you need to do is you go into Odoo and you go to the App Store and you put the Mollie balance sync and the Mollie PoS terminal. That's all you need. Okay. Configuration is really simple. You go into the general settings and you go to the point of sale, and all the way in the bottom you find your Mollie API token. Okay. For the purposes of the demo, of course, I hid it. Otherwise, everyone can just start making payments off our account. And you will see that I push sync terminals, and I have our normal terminal. But for the new one, I just retrieve the new sync, hop, and I find my new terminal. Okay, I'm just gonna give it a user-friendly name. There we go. Hop, and save it. There we go. So now our Mollie PoS terminal is actually connected. All we need to do now is we need to go to our POS, and from our POS we go to our payment methods, and of course we need to link it up to a payment method so that it knows which terminal to use. So we're saying go to Mollie, use the Odoo Experience terminal, and one important thing is you cannot forget to identify customers. This will actually make sure that every transaction goes into one line item. And also we've added something through our integration, which is a default customer, so you don't need to identify every customer every time. In some cases, like a restaurant, that's also not possible. So that's it. we're ready to make payments. That's all it takes to set up the Mollie payment terminal. You're hungry?
Kinda. I ate the salad here, but it was a little bit not that much. So
All right.
what do you have?
Let's make a new session. Okay. Oh, I'll get the bacon burger.
I'll take a bacon burger as well.
Okay, and you're paying.
Cool.
All right. I'll just use card. I'll send you the transaction.
On the terminal, and now of course we have to hope that the demo gods are going to be good to us. The internet is worthless here. It's running on 4G, and I'm not getting a payment.
Okay. So I'm going to cancel the transaction, and I'm going to retry it.
No, I think the internet
I think
is,
the internet is actually screwing us over on the demo. Excuse my language. Okay, but in general, these are the only two things you need to do to set up the terminal. If your terminal has internet, which we've had a few problems with, we can actually receive any payment. But that's only the part for the POS. Okay. If we look at how all of this is handled in the backend for our accountants, because there you have the biggest problem. Every time you get a full day of transactions, and we need to split those all out. So how do we do that? Okay, we go to accounting, and you can see that the app actually made a journal for Mollie. Okay, so similar to your normal bank account, you'll have your Mollie journal, which is actually a reflection of the Mollie dashboard that you have normally when you're a Mollie customer, which will have all of your transactions. You see that I don't have any records yet, so I go to configuration, and all I need to do is put up my Mollie organization token and sync the balance accounts, so I can retrieve my balance account, and I'm going to sync my Clubhouse account from the 27th of October, okay, and from 00, okay, and this will actually make sure that from now on, all of the transactions that come in through your Mollie dashboard will actually sync automatically to the Mollie journal, okay. I'm actually an impatient man. What I'm doing usually doesn't need to be done, but the Mollie transactions will now be transformed into the actual reconciliation. Normally, I would have a button for this, but I'm going to actually do it through the API. One moment, please. Demo gods are not happy with us. Okay, I'm gonna scheduled actions, and I'm gonna go Mollie. Okay, and I'm gonna process our bank statement lines. Okay, and I'm gonna go to accounting. Okay. And now we can see that there are 6 items to be reconciled. Okay. Normally, this goes through the day, and everyone can pick the cron job picks them out automatically. All right. So my 6 reconciliation items. Every accountant knows how to use the standard reconciliation models of Odoo. I'm just going to show them for the demo so that you know also for people that want to set this up at home how they should be set up. So whenever Mollie will charge you anything, you will have the charge lines on the invoice, and we will have to match our reconciliation model to those charge lines. Okay, so I'm just going to show them to you. I'm going to go into full screen again. I'm just going to show them to you. So you pick the right account, and you suggest your counterpart, and also you will have to put it on auto-validate. Why? Because you don't want any work anymore. You want everything to go automatic. But if I would do this here, you would not see anything because it would just process automatically. The only thing you can't forget is to have the text label with the wildcards in here and your Mollie partner. Okay, so we do the same thing for all of the lines that could ever be on a Mollie invoice, like the Mollie invoice compensation. Same thing goes here. Exactly the same thing for the deductions. I'm just going to show it for completion. And then one different one is the Mollie PoS reconciliation, which is actually the invoice that Mollie will send to you. Okay, and then there's only the fees left. All right. So with this setup as Mollie reconciliations, if you go to your dashboard and you have your 6 reconciliation item lines ready, this will normally be empty because they will auto-validate. But for this demo purpose, I just wanted to show you that every time now it will assign these to Mollie, and whenever your invoice will come in from Mollie, they will automatically be deducted from the invoice and your balance will be clean. So all I need to do is validate, 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 which would normally be done automatically. And then our Mollie invoice that would capture all of the payments minus the fees and deductions, etc., would just auto balance. And that's it. All right, so I showed you this for one PoS transaction, but it's actually the same for all of our e-commerce transactions or even just sales where you did a direct payment link. They come into the Mollie dashboard, and the Mollie dashboard is automatically synced to Odoo, and with those automated reconciliation rules, you would have a zero balance, and actually your accountant doesn't need to do anything anymore. So before you had the whole lump sum payment, and they had to go through every transaction to see, okay, I didn't need to deduct a fee of 5 cents here, a fee of 5 cents there, etc. So that's no longer necessary anymore. So
that was also the vision that we had with this product. It should work the same way as online as it does for offline. And it's really nice that we can do this with Odoo and give you this out of the box.
Yeah. So the benefits as opposed to other payment providers is you don't have the headache reconciliation anymore, no wasting time, there's no margin of error, and you don't even need an IoT box anymore. The payment terminal is just connected directly to the cloud and the cloud to Odoo.
So with this you get real-time balance synchronization, but you also get real-time feedback of payments. If they fail, if they're successful, you know as well every payment what it costs you. So you don't get 4,000 euros on your balance and then you have to figure out which payments cost you what. So you can see per payment, hey, this was a business card, this was a consumer card, this was a Maestro, this was a MasterCard. So you can track your fees and charges, the automated reconciliation, you get improved accuracy, you know which deals cost you money, which deals did not cost you money, and no extra setup cost and no IoT box.
So I know you're all dying to get this, so what do? Just go to the Mollie partner portal, just make an account, order your payments, and also install the Odoo apps, and you're on your way. So if anybody has questions, I'll switch over to the pad.
I think you need to show the QR code one more. Did everyone get
the
QR code?
QR code?
Yes.
I'll show it once more. Okay, so on which versions is the app integrated? We have the V16 and we will have the V17. Anything before that, there's actually apps available as well for integration, but it won't have the balance sync. But there's also extended payment possibilities. Just check the App Store for all of the apps. They also have a manual with them. So you will see whatever they do and then how we can extend the Mollie payment functionality.
Is there a notification inside Odoo if the payment did not go through the terminal? So I think this is when the payment fails.
Yeah.
So just like with online transactions, we send webhooks to give you the state of that transaction. So if the transaction is cancelled on the terminal or if the transaction fails, we will tell you and Odoo will know.
Yeah, there's always feedback through the webhook. Your scheduled actions are creating bank statements. What about bank statements in your bank journal? How will these be reconciled? So what we're doing is we have the journal statements on of Mollie, and then you will have one lump sum that comes in through the bank, which is the repayment of Mollie, but those will all be reconciled together. So you will already have your individual statements ready, and they will be reconnected. So there's actually no work anymore. I hope that's clear. I don't know who the question is from. The sync to the journal, no Pinto.
I see. Do you offer a 4G version of the terminal? So this terminal is actually on 4G, but right now reception is really bad. So yeah, that's why the payment didn't come through.
I see the sync to the journal, no Pinto is needed. No IoT box is needed, or did I get that wrong? I'm not sure what. How does the sync work? So actually, the terminal syncs up to the cloud. Okay, and through the API key that you generate on the Odoo dashboard, because you enter that in Odoo, we actually have a direct link to it. So there's no more. It's all real time. There's a cron job in Odoo. I showed you because the demo gods aren't happy with us, and I can actually run that, or it runs automatically in the background. So you actually capture it every time.
No, so the terminal and the POS solution don't have to be in the same network because it goes through the cloud. So actually the terminal could be in another country or in another building and still get a payment.
Are those all of your questions? Anybody else? Okay. Oh, one question.
Sorry, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. What I did not see is how the lines in your bank journal come back from Mollie to Odoo. Is that via the API as well?
Yeah.
So there is no bank synchronization with an intermediate.
No. What you will have is the final payment that comes from Odoo. Yeah. The final payment that comes from Odoo will actually end up on your bank statement, right? But you will have everything in detail already reconciled here, and both will reconcile together. Okay, so our Odoo, our Mollie balance will have the details, and then we will have the lump sum coming from the bank.
And if you guys want, you can also visit us at our stand. I believe our number is
H11.
H11. So if you have more questions, you can also come to our stand.
And if you bring a hamburger.
Question here. So the question is, if you do in the e-commerce a payment with a Visa or another payment acquirer like that, it is easy to reconcile directly with Mollie after that?
Yes. So we handle the transaction on your behalf. We handle the contract with Visa and MasterCard as well. So the payment just goes through and we pay it out to your balance. So we do the outpayment of all the payment methods through our system.
And the benefit of the bank of the reconciliation is actually that normally there's a deduction of a fee, okay? But sometimes Mollie will deduct too much, and afterwards, like in 2-3 weeks from now, we will actually get the correct fee of that transaction, and that's the point where Mollie will rewire that back to you. And because of the API sync, we can actually, it's an automated reconciliation, so you don't need to go back and then change anything or put another rule in. So it's all automated.
So you have no global sum for the Visa after the end of the day? Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah.
So you have no sum about all the Visa at the end of the day then?
So you always have your so the POS will have a totality, and you will see whatever came in. You will also have to close down your POS with having this much from the Visa, this much from cash, this much from cards, etc. But in general, you don't need to do anything with that anymore because the API sync will handle everything.
Yeah, so here it was referring to the e-commerce and not the point of sale.
Okay, for e-commerce, exactly the same thing. So also there, it's itemized, it's detailed lines every time and a breakdown. All right, if that's the end of the question. Oh,
So I think
are the sync module and reconciliation models present in standard Odoo? That's a marvelous question. I don't know who posed that, but you can, okay. We would love that. So
Yes.
go talk to the PoS owner, the product owner, because this needs to be in Odoo. It's the final piece that connects everything together, and there's no more work for the accountant. So we would love this to be in standard Odoo. We've been it's been going piece by piece. Our functionalities of the Mollie app are getting into standard Odoo, but yeah, this is the final piece, and it needs to be there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.